sick of it all.
Black ones, medallions.
What?
As long as they pay and don't hit.
Heathen.
Get out of my sight. Your every move will be counted and judged. Get out of my sight.
Yeah, no. Oh, fuck, don't rightly know.
Greetings.
All thumbs today.
Greetings. Come to look over my spring collection, perhaps?
Glad to take a glance at what you got.
Of course, please do. If anything chafes or pinches, I can alter it on the spot at no charge. Once I'm done, it'll feel like you're wearing nothing at all.
So long.
How I go?
Wait, anything? White orchard? No.
and hungry.
No bread, no coin, all is shite.
The grey one again.
Door's been swinging off its hinges all day.
Oh my, certainly took my request to heart.
Mean you weren't being serious? Still got time to change.
Don't you dare. You look great. You get everything?
Learn anything else about Albert?
Well, almost none of the mages have heard of him. An amateur, I guess.
So why the interest? Temple guards first, then hunters?
He's easy prey, and that's exactly why we should help him.
Everything's ready. We can go.
A shame events like this are so rare. Without them, I'd never get to see you dressed up.
Damn doublets chafing my armpits. And it feels like they sewed wires into this.
I'll be sure to admire your valiant suffering the whole time. Well then, shall we go?
Greetings, my lord, my lady.
We're Lady Ingrid Vegelbud's guests.
Your invitation, please. All's in order. You'll find Lady Vegelbud in the estate's yard. Look for the parrot mask. One more thing. Leave your swords here, please.
Fine.
A pleasant evening to you both.
It's beautiful here. I haven't been outside the city in ages.
Well, don't cry. After all, he's not the only man in the world.
But he's a baronet. Where will I find another baronet?
Hello, Vivian. No use pretending you don't know me. Is that any way to treat an old mate? Refuse to acknowledge him?
There's been a mistake. I don't know you, sir.
Don't be foolish, Vivian. I'd recognize that mane anywhere. You might play the Great Dame now, but before that Baron Edward something pulled you from the gutter, you were a common...
Enough. The lady said she doesn't know you.
Who's this? The new one? Older than the last, it seems. A decrepit, moss-covered prick. So, the less they can, the more they pay. Is that it?
Let's go, Triss. Wouldn't want to make a scene.
Vivian! Hey! Oh, I liked you much better when you worked the carriages outside the passive floor. Come back now.
What a
I'm not
jackass.
done with you.
Time to invest in rubies.
Looking for me, sir. A wit better than an ear.
Beg your pardon?
It'll be worse.
Late for supper again. My, is he ever sorted?
Stop whining and drink.
Moritz, what are you doing here?
Little Miss Miracle. Well, well. And I was led to believe this would be an elegant affair.
Yes, I missed you too. But can we put that aside for now? Do you have a way out of Novigrad? You can join us if you want.
Join you? And just who would I join?
Your friends, among others. Once we've all gathered, I'll lead you.
You will lead. Forgive me, Marigold, but that is like allowing myself to be led by a lame duck. Farewell.
Who is that?
He's an old friend. His name's Moritz Diefenfeld. Tell you the story later. Oh, let's look around.
The truth is, we're already dependent on the black market, economically.
On a clear day.
Ah, another challenger. Please join us. Sir Devenant just vacated his place at the table. It's rather unlikely he'll be back.
What happened to him?
Some good men took him aside to prevent him from hurting himself. So, shall we play? First, you shall face Margrave Vladimir de Cray. The man can afford to lose, so he's likely to be reckless.
Not in the mood.
Not in the mood to win. Apparently, they have this contraption.
It is an offence to nature. Take guard know what goes on there.
He's not been seen around town in some time.
Word is he's made some enemies. Turned to Joel finally. Must have thought he'd get a second chance.
She wore a turkey mask for the last ball. Can you imagine?
Oh, my mother says the girl has a singular sense of humour. If you ask me, she's batty.
A second chance? Good one. Cemeteries are full of men who thought old Joel would give them a second chance.
Siggy, I'll be.
Geralt! Damn it all. How do you recognize me?
Your voice, unmistakable.
Oh, yes, those famous Witcher senses. Finally getting some use out of them. And who's this creature with you? May I be introduced?
Hey, Reuven.
It can't be! Is that the lovely warble of my favourite accomplice? Well, we've jested and laughed, but I've a sense you're in a hurry.
Really?
You know, Geralt, somehow I dislike running into you at parties. My bones start to ache, as if bad weather were approaching. Later, Geralt.
Oh. Have you tried the quail baked in cranberry?
No more. I couldn't possibly take another fight.
You know the children are starving in Valor.
How dare you!
She wore a turtle mask to the last ball. Can you imagine?
Oh, mother says the girl has a singular.
Excuse me a moment. Miss?
Yes, it's me. The trout buyer?
Oh, yes, of course. Please excuse the precautions, but perhaps we could speak somewhere in private. Thank you for agreeing to help. My valet warned me you might come with a friend. I'd prefer as few as possible knew of Albert's flight. But if you trust this man...
Like no one else.
Any sign of the hunters recently?
Since they attacked my servant at the market, none. All has been quiet. But I bribed a man of the Temple Guard. He claims there's more and more talk of Albert in the ranks.
How did the guardsmen learn about your son's interests to begin with?
Unfortunately, I cannot be sure Albert himself was not the source, merely boasting about an experiment. He's careless that way. Like his father. A kind man, but a dimwit. Devoured by an Arrakis. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah. Must have traveled far and wide.
Hardly. He attempted to breed them. Perhaps I should be pleased Albert adopted alchemy as his hobby. A safe one, relatively speaking. Until recently, that is.
Let's get Albert. Where is he?
Entertaining the guests. He's always been an outsized presence at my receptions. I preferred not to arouse any suspicions.
When can we take him away?
We shall have to wait until the guests have imbibed enough to notice only the goblet-laden trays. Don't fret, it won't be long.
How will we recognize him?
He's donned a panther mask. He knew you were due to come for him. Seemed rather excited, ironically. I'm afraid he's not fully comprehended the danger he faces. As I said, he's not terribly bright.
Don't worry about that. He'll fit right in with a good number of the other mages.
Geralt! Let's go find him.
I shall await word from you.
Let's look for Albert.